Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, part 3 of our journey on to 1,000 hours in Flight Sim. I gave a very long introduction in part 1, so I would recommend at least watching the introduction if you haven't already. We're just going to continue. So today, oh boy, sim crashing as I record this. Earlier today, sim update 14 released. I'm recording in the evening of that day. And the SR-22 is supposed to be an updated model from working title, and I guess it is. This is SR-22, but if it's a new model and everything, all my presets and everything were saved, so I'm kind of suspicious if this is actually a new model. So I'm going to get in, fly it, get going on their next 1,000 hours or whatever, and I'm having some serious deja vu. Wow. Anyway, and then I'll just play with this, you know, a little bit, see if it really enhanced, because I don't know. I mean, it does say SR-22 TGS. Did it before? I don't know. Anyway, maybe they did a new model and let us keep our presets. I'm confused. But anyway, let's say it's fine. There it is. We are taking off at Alpha Golf November. I forgot where it is. You have to look in the description. And we're just going to head west towards Indonesia and Southeast Asia. And we're in the middle of a rainstorm right now. I don't know if this would be realistic for VFR in real life, but I'm just admiring how incredibly, insanely gorgeous this is. I do believe this was part of the Oceanic World Update. I can't remember what was included in that World Update, but that was a long time ago now. Anyway, insane, beautiful, sunrise, real world weather. I know we're supposed to be flying 1,000 hours, and it doesn't count unless our wheels are off the ground. But I am in awe of this. Holy guacamole. Alrighty, anyway. I already have the plane ready to go. I'm just going to make sure I have at least one set of flaps. They're just down there, and I'm going to fly this plane. Anything I need to say or do, well, that'd be nice later. I'm just going to mess with this one from there, like I said. I guess the systems now are fully functional with working title. By working title, I'll see what all that does. It'll be interesting. Yeah, anyway, speaking too much. Can I lower this just a little bit? Ooh. Shoot, I screwed up my preset. Dang it. Well, there's my preset. Let me there. That's better. That'll be preset 1 for now. Okay, anyway, enough talking. I'm just going to go, take off, and we're just going to fly, set autopilot to some altitude with heading bugs somewhere, and then I'll decide later, once we're in the air, where we're actually going to go. Because I don't know, we're just going to fly. We're probably going to hit maybe more than 60 hours in this video. It's not a 60-hour video. I'm going to fly for 60 hours at once and then edit it down for you. And this, I can't. It's so windy. That's full right rudder. That's full right rudder. Is that enough to at least get up? There we go. Oh my word. Oh my word. It's so windy. It's so windy I can't fly. What is this? 27 knot winds off from the left. That was amazing. That was fun. Would not recommend in real life. Look at this. It still doesn't want to fly. Anyway, I'm hoping to hit a 60-hour plus chunk in this video that I'll edit down. Yeah. Anyway, oh my gosh, I can't even fly anywhere. This is crazy. What if I do this? Can I hit heading bug? Where's my heading bug? Is it down here? Oh boy, I really have to learn this plane because I can't even set my heading bug. I don't know where it is. Com, barometer, range. What is barometer? Touchscreen? No. All I want to do is set my heading bug. FMS, range, nav. Heading down here. Can I push it? It should go where we are. Yes, okay. So what I want to do, altitude. Oh, this is tough because I can't see up there when I'm messing down here. I want to go like this. Altitude, let's do 4,000. It's hard to look down and up. It's so tiny. And then we're going to do... I got to redo my presets. We need to do flight director. We need to do heading bug. And we need to do vertical speed. Vertical speed, come on. Vertical speed, there we go. And to 1300, hit autopilot. And whatever, we'll figure this out later. North is not up on the map. Okay. So, I have to learn this airplane, obviously, where everything is, and redo all my presets so that I can actually fly. That's a cool view. Alrighty, so because this is the third video we've done of this now, I don't need to say much more other than, let's look outside briefly so I can get a screenshot perhaps. And then I'm going to play with the airplane for a little bit off camera because I'm not going to bore you. But then I'll come back and tell you what I've learned. And then we'll pick a place for this thing to fly for 60 hours without hitting any mountains. So give me a minute to learn this airplane. And I'll cut back. And I'll have some interesting things to say, I hope. Alright, I figured it out. It only took like 15 minutes to get through everything. Because it's the NXI or whatever, the FMS GPS. So I already knew it from the other airplane. But anyway, ooh, look at that storm up there. Holy cow. So anyway, let me walk you through what I've learned. These move, which is cool. They will be important at some point. We do run into the sun, so that's really awesome. That moves. This is my main flying view. It's a little higher than the headrest because I'm tall. And this is probably what I would see in real life. But anyway, down here, we all know how this works. I started the timer, by the way, a little late, so that should be like 15, maybe even 20. It says alerts because I've been in heading mode for a long time. I don't care. Can I clear that out? I don't think I can. I think it's just going to be there. Whatever. Otherwise, this is all normal stuff. You already know how to do all this stuff. Keys over here, V-speeds are here. A little bit. And all my buttons are down here. Start it up. This is the red light that you see, which will be handy at night. Use a red light or green light at night because your eyes can still look outside. So that'll be cool when it gets dark. Let's turn it up about 4 or 5 clicks. These are your instruments, obviously, because this is an instrument. We'll crank that up about halfway. I turned on all the icing. That doesn't work, but all the icing stuff actually does work. So there's tons of ice. You can turn it on. High, normal. We'll put on normal. You can do max pumping stuff, pitot heat, lights, blah blah blah, all normal stuff. You slide over here. Let's go with this view. Actually, this view. There we go, and you have your defrost, heat, all that good stuff. The only thing down here is your ELT testing. If you want to test with ELT, you hold it by testing. Sometimes I do that in my checklist, just depends how I'm feeling. Otherwise, your autopilot, comm stuff. This interacts with this screen. So instead of having all the things on the side, like the 172 G1000 has, they're all down here. It's all the same stuff, except you can type with this instead of having to type on screen or use the scroll. You can do both. I'll show you. Otherwise, your range, let's actually zoom in. That's my preset 4. You can do the range here. I like turning on topography. Just go to map options. You do relative, or, that way if it's red, you're going to crash. If it's yellow, you're above it, but not safely above it. If it's green, you're fine. If it's black, then it's a non-issue. I like doing that. I like having the radar on too. That's fun, except if you zoom in on the weather, and you're trying to look at what's under you. But anyway, that's how that works. So let's go like that. Oh, that's Australia below us, obviously. So that's where we are in the world. We're just going to fly for a while. Looks like we have some mountains in front of us, though, that are going to be a problem. So we'll climb in a second here, and that'll go away. Otherwise, you want to put in a flight plan. Actually, I'm going to do that in a minute. We're going to put in a fun little flight plan, just like I have been doing. Just for fun. We'll do that together in a minute. Otherwise, my next preset is down here. You get fuel, mixture, fuel pumps, or boost. Oxygen doesn't do anything. Flaps, all that stuff. Tank, we have unlimited fuel on for this project, so I'm not going to worry about it. 6, you look out the window. 7, I look ahead. 8, there is a dome light up here, which we will try when it gets dark, see if it does anything. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. 9 then is looking out the window from the passenger view, and 0 is looking out there. So there you go. That is how I have my preset set up. So I would use 4. Actually, I would use my preset 3 so I can see my altitude and do my autopilot down here. 4 so I can get a better view of this because I'm old with old eyes. So let's crank this up. Let's go to 11,000 feet. Let's go 12,000 feet because I like it, and that's where I landed. Now it's at 13. There's 12,000 feet right there. And we're just going to do vertical speed. And we're just going to crank this thing up. We could go until we see VY on there, but I'm just going to crank it up like this. Don't need to worry about oxygen, I guess. The oxygen doesn't work in this, so 12,000 feet would be fine anyway. I might have to mess with mixture at 5,000 feet. I'll see. If my power drops, then I know I have to, play with mixture, but otherwise everything's fine. So let's let that go for a minute. I'm going to pull up Sky Vector. And you all know that I love doing things contained in the sim and not needing external resources, but we're doing this for fun. So we took off here, I think, one of these little islands, which has a bunch of POIs. A bunch of resorts are hand-modeled in this area. But anyway, so we're flying this way. So we want to avoid these mountains, even though we probably could go over them. Yeah, they're only 14,000 feet, which means it should be disappearing. Yep, see, the red is slowly getting smaller as we climb, which means we're going to be just fine. But anyway, let's do a flight plan thing. So what we could do is just keep the VFR map up and just go airport to airport, or we can go world low, and then we get some pathways. So we're here. Let's put in some pathways. Where are we? Well, we're here already. Holy cow, we're going fast. Well, let's go over the mountains. So is there a waypoint here? Yeah. Victor, Alpha Tango Victor Oscar. I'll do one of these with you, then I'll do the rest alone, and then I'll come back and share with the class here, so you don't have too long of an introduction. I'm going to flight plan. Let's see if I remember to do this. I've been doing it quite a bit. FMS control is here, see, instead of over down here. It's actually down here. And en route, because I was already doing it. So what you can do is you can start... Whoops. Hit it again. I was just doing this. Okay, small one. So what you could do is you could use the little cursor and find your alphabet, or I can just go down here and type it in. And I want Victor Alpha Tango Victor Oscar. There you go. That looks like the map, so we want that one. So let's hit enter to accept. Enter. And then come back over here. Let's pick another waypoint. I like to keep it on the cursor because that's where it's going to zoom out. Let's see. Let's go along these mountains. So let's pick this waypoint. This looks popular. Oh, it's a VOR, which is fine. We can use VORs. So we're going to go Bravo, Indigo, Alpha, Kilo. And it should exist, perhaps. That doesn't look like my map. So we're not going to use that one. I could tune it in, whatever. I am going to do a slant alpha flight, by the way. Where we fly from VOR, VOR, which I've done a gazillion times. I don't know why that's not showing up, and I'm not going to fight it. Let's use the airport. Whiskey Alpha Bravo Bravo. So backspace. Whiskey Alpha Bravo Bravo. This is nice. There you go. That's the right spot. Hit enter to accept. Yep, there we go, but I'm not done, so let's move FMS to the next one. There we go. Let's do one more together and make sure it's gonna work, because that looks kind of weird. Let's keep going along here. Let's do another waypoint out here, but not an airport. That's probably a waypoint for approach, but use it anyway. Alpha Mike, Alpha Delta Indigo, so go Alpha Mike, Alpha Delta Indigo. And that should be right. Enter to accept. There we go. And why is it being all funky monkey on us here? Let's expand this out and see what's happening. What happened? It put us like all the other side of the world. So that doesn't make any sense. So let's clear that one. Remove it. And try to figure out why it did that to us. Maybe because they put in the airport. I don't know. Let me figure this out. And not use airports, and get a waypoint. Get a series of waypoints in, and then I'll come back and share it with the rest of the class once I figure out what's going on here. Alright, some 20 minutes later, and I have my flight plan. Just something kind of crazy where, oh my gosh, I put a lot in there. Starting here, and then going across Indonesia, and then we go up, where are we after Indonesia? There's the Vietnam area, all of Southeast Asia. We go up to Japan eventually. I think we hit part of China a couple times. yeah, South Korea we hit too, and then along to Japan, and then up across Russia, avoiding the mountains in Mongolia and China, or yeah, Mongolia actually, sorry, and then we snake up through the mountains, as you can see, go over the Caspian Sea, up to Europe, Denmark, and then what we do is whoa, what happened here? We go all the way across. Why is there a big circle? Where's all this other crap? Anyway, let me just go across the ocean just to buy some time. So I doubt we're even going to get a third of the way through this in 60 hours. I just didn't want to go faster than I thought, and then I don't know what's going to happen when we run out. So anyway, we're going direct to Vatvo because it wasn't even working until they went direct to something. So there's your flight plan. I think we just hit flight plan to get out. There we go. And let's zoom out. Come on, zoom out a little bit. Let's do this because I don't know why we got such a weird circle after Denmark. But again, it doesn't matter because there's no way 60 hours is going to be enough to go over half the world in this little plane doing like whatever 100 some knots we're doing. So anyway, I just want to put a flight plan in there just because it's fun to do. Reminds me of, oh, look at that, zooms out for us. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Look at that. It works. If you just go up, it just zooms you out. So there you go, there's your flight plan. There's probably like 200 hours of flying that we're not going to do, but something interesting. So there you go. And how fast are we going ground speed? 181 knots. All right, put this back on the plane, and I still have an X-Rad on, don't I? I do. Did the weather disappear on us? Where's our weather? There it is. In fact, it was really stormy when I, wait, what's going on here? Oh, duh, we can switch over to heading now. I mean, nav now. Is it that? Nav? Is that what we use? No, we use nav over here. Well, that's the radio, never mind. I don't know if it's going to turn us, though, because, yeah, see, GPS isn't ready, because we need to move over. Where's my heading mode? We need to get us in the vicinity, and then that'll turn green. So it's like armed, but it has to intercept the GPS. Now that we have a GPS, there we go. Boom, and then eventually that'll turn green. They'll follow GPS. Alrighty, so we have a flight plan in there. That'll get us around the world. Just like the other times, I'll give some sightseeing. I'll jump in for some updates. This is really beautiful, isn't it? I love this plane already. Low wing though, so hard for sightseeing. But anyway, we'll let that arm. We're at 12,000 feet. Hit the barometer. Let's see what the next advisory is. Exit icing. Exit icing conditions. Well, we have icing on. Put it on high. Give it a squirt. Give the windshield a squirt. There's no reason we need to worry about that. Can we clear these things? I really don't know what to do with them. I'll have to play with that later. Thank you. Anyway, 32 minutes into this thing. Alrighty. Enough being said. We're just going to wait for this to intercept, and it'll go to Vatvo for us. And then we'll just see how far we get in about 60 hours. If I don't need this, if I don't need my computer, I'll let it run. Just like the other videos, right? The first two videos, I think, were like 60 hours compressed. Same thing with this one. So let's just let the GPS do its thing here before I turn you loose. And GPS triggered, and it moved us over to the purple line as it's supposed to. So I think that's all I have to say for now. Oh, I forgot to mention Papua New Guinea and Papa. That's the first nation we're coming to before Indonesia and all that. I don't know why. That was just, I don't know. Sorry to those who live there, but I'm not forgetting you. Otherwise, that's it. That's an overview of the plane, and I'm gonna let this thing fly over some storms, and I'll give you some sightseeing, and I'll jump in for some big time updates just like the other videos, and I'll catch you in a little bit. Alright, I wanted to wait until 24 hours to give you a voiceover update. All of this isn't a voiceover. I'm actually flying this at the same time, so a commentary update, I guess. We're at 20 hours now. I'm doing the update now because we're approaching Hong Kong, which is going to be pretty cool. I think it's our first gigantic city in all 3 parts so far of this trip, going 60 hours at once. So we'll see Hong Kong. And before we get there, I want to show you a few things in the airplane. I'm curious what's going to render in though, because you'll see, where is it? There was a beacon I saw a minute ago right there. Anyway, yeah, there it is. See that beacon? That beacon is this airport right here. So that's what we're looking at. We're going to go right over Hong Kong International. But anyway, before we get there, a few things. First of all, again, it's been only 20 hours. I'm not going to be at my computer at 24 hours either. So that's another reason I wanted to do this. Let's be on the barometer, see what the changes are. Alright, a few things I noticed when I was messing around. First of all, I have the dome light on just because I can. But if you come down here, this opens up, which is kind of neat. And this tells you how many hours you've flown the plane. And we've flown for 20 hours and 3/10 of an hour, which kind of lines up with that, right? So there you go. So this must be a new model. That saved my presets then. So good. So there's that I discovered. I also discovered, what else did I discover? A whole bunch of stuff. Oh, to do the range, to turn this knob, you know, I kept trying to click on these little click spots and then the thing would move right and get out of focus or out of zoom. But you can just turn it with the finger over it, which makes life way, way easier for me. So I'm glad I figured that out. Another thing I figured out, remember I was thinking, gee, how many hours is my trip? Well, it tells you up here the distance to the end, right? Estimated time of something. Why can't I remember what that means? Anyway, this is your estimated time to the next waypoint, so almost 5 hours away. But this is the estimated time to the destination. So this was 85 hours when we started. I'm not going to go more than 60 in the sim, I don't think. So we're not going to reach my entire route, but we'll reach a lot of it. And then 11,800 nautical miles remaining in the route I planned. So there you go. So that's what that is. I can't believe I didn't notice that until recently. I think those are the big things I noticed as I was playing around with the airplane. This is the first time I've run the sim this long since the update, though. The sim update 14. So I'm hoping, trying to figure out what lights those are. Oh, I did turn icing off because I kept getting an icing alert to turn it off, so I did. Is that just the landing lights out there? No, what lights are those? Landing lights, the icing lights. There you go. We do not need the wing inspection lights on. Okay. I'm nervous about running the Sims, and this is the first time I'm going to run it for such a long time, because I noticed there are periods when it starts to stutter a lot, kind of like it's running out of RAM and it has to like recache the RAM or something. Even when I was like over the ocean, I would come outside and try to move the camera and be like dip, it'll kind of go like along really slowly and like jitter. I'm trying to make it jitter. It's not doing it right now, but it was. And it was making me kind of nervous that I thought the sim was going to crash. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully it'll get to my next 60-hour chunk without crashing the sim. But again, first time I've run it. It's supposed to be better on performance and everything. I don't know. But anyway, coming up on Hong Kong, which is here. All you see over here, these are other cities around Hong Kong. I'm not going to try to pronounce them, but you can put in Hong Kong in Google. And these are all the big cities around the area. Hong Kong itself is... Where is it? After this, is it over here yet? Yeah, it's over here. Because here's the airport we saw, wherever the beacon went. And then the water. And then Hong Kong. I think what we'll do is we'll actually veer off of our plan a little bit. And we'll make sure we get closer to Hong Kong so we can see it more clearly. Let's go over to Heading Bug. And then when we get beyond Hong Kong, I'll bring the Heading Bug back so that will arm GPS. Like we talked about before in the beginning of the video. Remember we had to arm GPS. Or nav, I guess, getting on autopilot, and then use Heading Bug to get over there because I wouldn't see it otherwise. So we're just going to go like this. It's another hour out probably, I'm thinking. maybe 45 minutes. We're going 200 knots ground speed. Holy cow. 217. So maybe it's not going to be an hour. I don't know. We'll see. When we get closer, we'll have a look and see what it looks like. I'm trying to get between the airports here, so just a little bit more to the east. There we go. Well, we're staring down Hong Kong International Airport. And then Hong Kong itself is kind of over here, so I don't really know why nothing is rendered in yet. Kind of strange. I'm trying to look at Google Maps with satellite imagery. Yeah, so it just hasn't. I mean, there's some water behind the airport here, but this is all land here, and then there's water. Let's move that forward more. Then there's water here and then land. So I don't know, maybe it just hasn't rendered in yet. I know they cut down the render distance on the detail lighting, of course, for better performance. So maybe we're not just there yet. Well, it looks like Hong Kong finally rendered in. There's all the lighting there. So even though we had this lighting in the distance, which would eventually, get more detailed if we got closer like it is here, we never had this lighting in the distance. It just happened to render in all at once. So anyway, there's the airport here. Where'd you go? It's under my wing. There's the airport there, starting to fade away because we're not in line of the runway. And then, come back, there we go. And then Hong Kong is off the nose. So when we get closer, we'll see what it looks like. What the buildings look like at night. We have flown here during the day before. But we're going to fly at night now. So anyway, when you go to the surrounding areas, this is all water. This blank space is all water. Across the bay. And just checking things out as our renders in here. See if you're getting all stuttery. We'll be fine, I hope. During the last live stream, they did talk about the stuttering and data and all this stuff. And again, not my computer. It is really bad right now, though. I'm pushing buttons on my keyboard and they're not responding, which means it's not a low frame rate thing. It's just cutting out for a second and not picking up my input. Alrighty, so we got some looks flying over Hong Kong. Too dark to make out any buildings or any AGGN or handmade things or whatever, but they're down there. Not to mention we are up 12,000 feet. Just about. Yeah, so anything we do is going to be hard to see because we're so high. So now let's get the heading bug back over here so we can intercept this. Like so. Like about 45 degrees, maybe a little more. And then we'll hit nav, which will put GPS up here, which is more like arming GPS. And then once we get close enough and this moves, it'll go over GPS and follow the purple line again. We already did that earlier in the same flight. So there is your, I'd say 24-hour update, but more like your 20-hour update. So I'm going to let this thing keep flying. I actually have to step away from my computer IRL. Let's get this back here. And I'll provide some more sightseeing views as I'm able to. Hoping to see the sunrise when I'm at my computer later. I missed the sunset, obviously. But anywho, we're going to go to Vietnam next, I think. We're going to fly over mainland China. Or not Vietnam. We were already Vietnam. South Korea. What am I saying? We're going to, mainland China, South Korea, over to Japan, and then up and back across Russia, which we're not going to do most of this. We'll hit 60 hours probably around here, I'm guessing. Because we're taking 30, 20 off. Yeah, we'll get to about here maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So mainland China, South Korea, Japan, I'm going to try to get sightseeing of those. It just depends if I'm at my computer when that happens. This is 4.5 hours away. Nope, I'm not going to be at my computer when we hit South Korea. Bummer. And then that'll be another hour. I'm going to miss South Korea and Japan. Bummer. Sorry, everybody. Oh well, that's just the way it goes when I do flights like this. We normally don't do flights like this, so this is just for the project. Alrighty, I'm going to let... What am I going to let happen here? I'm going to let Heading Bug bring us over to GPS and get back on track, and I'll give some sightseeing when I'm back on my computer later, so I don't know. You might see a sunrise. You might see the other side of Japan. You just have to stay tuned and find out. We'll find out together. I'm going to do our 48-hour update a little bit early, just because there's plenty of stuff to talk about here. First of all, we were flying over China for quite a while. I got some sightseeing of that. And now we're in the middle of the Kazakhstan. Oh, Kazakhstan. I practiced too. Kazakhstan. And then head over Caspian Sea. And then if we're still running, this trip will be touching Russia, then Ukraine, Poland, and over to the UK, if we're still going that long. Most of the flying, all the flying I've seen, I guess, where I've been at my computer, has been at night. Because of the time I chose, apparently. It's all night. So I did get some daytime sightseeing in when I would like get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom. How quick hit record. So we're looking around and it's just night. There's the airplane there. Well, come on. You can see the airplane propeller under, yeah. But it's just dark. Maybe a little city there. So it's all been night when I've been awake, and then, like I said, I've been hitting record while I go to the restroom and things in the middle of the night to get some daytime activity. Look how stuttery this is, though. We're in the middle of nowhere. Skies are clear. And it is so stuttery, and I'm wondering if it's because I've had the sim running for 46 hours. So before sim update 14, I was doing 60 hour legs, no problem. You've seen it on video, no problem. But ever since about 16 hours or so, it's been getting really stuttery and weird and like this. Look at this. So I've been really nervous. Like if I were going over something with a lot of detail, I'd understand, or a lot of weather, I'd understand. But we have weather behind us, but nothing going on. So I'm kind of nervous. I'm hoping we make it to 60 hours. If we don't, and it crashes or something, I'm hoping the time we've accumulated will still count. So let's say it crashes at 50 hours. I hope when I restart the sim, it counts for those 50 hours. Now, I forgot to look at how far along we were before I started this in terms of all of our hours. I think it was like at 600, 700. I don't even know how many hours we've had. So if it crashes, I won't know if it banked this or not. So I'm going to try to hit 60 and just hope I don't lose it. Hope I don't lose my progress. So anyway, so I gave you an update about the night, about the daytime sightseeing, 48 hours almost. The stuttering, I told you where we are. So we're in the middle of Kazakhstan right now. When we get to the Caspian Sea, which is off camera, actually I can probably, there we go. Caspian Sea, this part's Russia, and then Ukraine, Poland, and then UK, or actually Copenhagen, and then over to UK, which I'll be stopping the sim by then for sure. But you know, that's where we are in the world. I already know what I'm going to do for the next video. It's going to be a little bit different and kind of fun. But there's your update. I don't have much more to say. So, a little bit of sightseeing if there's something to see. And then the next time you hear my voice, we'll be concluding this video at roughly 60 hours, I hope. You can hear how nervous I am in my voice. So, if the sim crashes, I'll jump in and tell you what happened too. And we'll see if we banked the hours. If they banked, we should be over 700 hours, I think. Because I did like 15 hours I didn't record because I had to go do something for a day. Over the weekends, I just put a plane in the air and left for a day and a half or so. So how many hours? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Whatever. I don't need to say any of this. I'm saying it anyway because that's how we do it on Tall Turtle channel. Next time you hear my voice, we'll be concluding the video. So just enjoy another minute of sightseeing, perhaps. And I'll see you then. Well, I was hoping to make it to 60 hours, but this simulator is really struggling. If you look at the shadow, see how it does like a second of 60 frames per second and then it stalls for like a quarter second? That's the sim. In fact, look at this. I'm pushing buttons in my keyboard and it's not even responding. Again, this isn't my computer. This is the simulator getting mad because we have flown with this heavy cloud cover and storms many times before. And no problem, but for some reason right now it is really struggling. So we're going to wrap up this video a little sooner than I wanted. It's actually the middle of the night for me right now. I got up to go to the restroom, and I'm like, let me check on the simulator, and I started struggling. In fact, 8, 9, 10 hours ago when I was awake for the day, it was struggling already, so I'm not surprised. So let's just recap how far we made it. Caspian Sea. We're over Russia right now, about to go into Ukraine, but we're not going to make it to Ukraine. So let's, I don't think I need to say anything else. I want to stop this before we lose our hours we've banked, right? Anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Let's go to the main screen and see what we're at. We should be close to 700 hours. Let's see how close we are to those 700 hours. And a very, very long black screen. Okay, good. Just doing something. I got nervous because that was a very long black screen that I edited out there. So what did we learn? Before Sim Update 14, I flew 60 hours, no problem. Now after Sim Update 14, 60 hours, oh yeah, okay, 690. See, I was hoping to get through the rest of the night, then it would have been 700 even by the time I got back to the sim. But that's okay, we're flying right along, 190 hours since I started the project. That's pretty cool. So that's going to wrap up this video. I have an idea for the next video. You're going to have to be subscribed so you know what my idea is. It's not that exciting. Well, kind of. Anyway, I'm just rambling now because it's like 2 a.m. So I'm just going to stop now, subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you in part 4 on our way to 1,000 hours. It's going to happen. It's going to happen faster than we think.